That's why we are going to the ANC and say to the ANC, our support to the ANC, as we have demonstrated since 1994, must not be taken for granted. The reason why we supported the ANC, we were told that the ANC, as a liberation movement, will produce a government who listens to its people, particularly who values workers, because workers are the producers of this economy. That today, all of a sudden, we are told about that has declined and so forth. We are producing this economy on a daily basis. And unfortunately, what we produce sometimes gets stolen. But the same people who have cards to tell us that there's no money. But they are stealing. And if they are stealing, where are they stealing from? They are not just stealing 10 rand, they are stealing billions. So I want just to go to the ANC and say that one of the downfalls is to ignore and disregard workers of this country. And as this it will not be easy to convince our members again for their support. As we know, all of us, that 2021 is a year of local government. We will not go to bleeding people who are dying of hunger, because they're not giving their money, and say, vote for the people who have always oppressing you, people who are renegating from what we had agreed upon, people who have refused to give you what is due to you. We will not have that. So we are going formally to the ANC just to raise that because it's the ANC that deploys in this government, that your ministers are now working contrary to what we have understood as your role in the context of being a liberation movement in terms of improving the lives of our people and also improving the conditions of workers. That's why immediately after 1994 there were regulations about the importance of workers. Hence, we have this kind of pieces of legislation that protects the right of workers. Now, those things are being reversed. And we are saying that it's one area that will never sustain. So we have an option, we have an opportunity to deliver what is due to us. But if it's not delivered, it will be an unfortunate thing. Because the union in its meetings now will start for the first time in its history to discuss whether or not to support the movement and so forth. And of course, options, we do have options. The vanguard of the working class, which is the Communist Party, had made a pronouncement in its own Congress, 14th Congress, that he is going to be contesting elections. So we will not leave our vanguard and choose a multi-class organization. We will then support the party. So we are saying options because we are having a Congress, we have Congresses, and that Congress will not miss this discussion. So we'll have to discuss, and I can tell you, as I'm seated there, the dominant view suggests that it's not going to be as business as usual. ANC will have to work very hard to win our hearts and interests, to be on the street supporting for them. So we want to take it to them. It's up to them, really. It's up to them to make a decision. But the decision has not been made. But we will make the decision, because decisions of that nature are made in the National Congress, so, which is the highest decision-making structure. So we're going to indicate to the movement that there's that kind of a thing. So by implication, our organizational relations will be in a way, not the historic one. There will be some, given how ANC is running and also is allowing their deployees to be loose to an extent that they can undermine what is due to us. So that's what really we're talking about.